Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
It's important that people educate themselves on the causes, the root causes, the medical causes.
Coming up, in an effort to continue our stories about mental health awareness and suicide prevention, we have a story from a college grad about survival.
Plus, both the tennis and volleyball teams have games against the Rockland Thunder. I'll let you know when and where in the Full Court Press.
And time is running out to sign up for financial aid, as that FAFSA deadline is less than a week away.
This and so much more Unleashed begins now.
Bringing the news to you from Rockland, California, this is Unleashed.
Good morning, Wildcats. I'm Sarah Carver.
And I'm Jada Sandu. Today is Thursday, February 25th, and we're on an odd day schedule.
Today, we continue our week dedicated to mental health awareness and suicide prevention.
And don't forget, we are having a Lime Green Spirit Day tomorrow. You are encouraged to wear green and your ribbons to support students with a mental illness.
So far, you've heard stories about suicide, as Kevin and Chloe shared what they battled while thinking about taking their own lives.
And today, we turn our attention to mental health. And check this out, 90%. Yes, 90% of the teens who committed suicide had an underlying mental illness.
And here is another shocking statistic. About 20% of teens live with a mental illness.
And of that 20%, only half of those teens receive treatment. The reason why? Stigma.
So reporter Megan Sanchez and photographer Alina Velasquez went to William Jessup University to talk to a recent graduate who helps fight the stigma.
Today, she's an advocate for mental health awareness, and her lessons are personal. Let's take a look.
When you look at the teens on campus, many have dealt with a mental illness, and since her early teens, so has Elyse Byrum.
I didn't know I was struggling so much with depression. And so there were days when I couldn't get out of bed. I'd have to force myself to get out.
The stigma surrounding mental illness is more than just the stereotype that those affected are crazy, and is something overlooked in daily conversation.
Someone might go off and get angry, like, oh, you're so bipolar. It's not what bipolar is. Oh, you're retarded. I think the OCD thing is something that I hear a lot, something I even say and try to catch.
Teens contribute to the stigma by belittling behaviors that they deem unusual.
People see a behavior or they see somebody having an experience, whether it be emotional or psychological, that they've never experienced themselves or don't know anything about. They're going to view it with suspicion.
Mental illness stigmas cause those that are struggling to feel isolated.
The influence of our peers, either by them thinking we're crazy, or any sort of name-calling, bullying kind of thing. I think that's a huge factor on why people don't reach out and get help.
Since peer influence contributes to the stigma, changes must occur to end it.
The biggest thing is knowing you're not alone in it, and that you're not going to be stigmatized, or you're not going to be shunned by your friends.
The stigma may not diminish completely, but it is important for people with a mental illness to reach out to others.
This is going to pass, and I know that sounds cliche, but things do get better with the proper help.
Reporting for WCTV 19 with photographer Alina Velasquez, I'm Megan Sanchez.
To learn more about the warning signs of mental illness, visit NAMI.org. That's NAMI.org.
They have statistics and signs that help you identify a mental illness.
The leadership team is hosting the Spring Blood Drive tomorrow in the small gym. If you want to participate and help save lives, pick up a permission slip. The permission slips are located at a table outside the student store at lunch. The deadline to sign up is today.
Juniors, there is a meeting Thursday during intervention in the small gym. The meeting will cover junior prom ticket sales, dance dress code, and event information. The meeting is mandatory for all juniors. Again, the meeting is March 1st during intervention in the small gym. And class of 2017, junior prom tickets go on sale on March 8th in the student store. The last day to buy a ticket is March 11th. They are on sale at lunch and after school. It is a first come, first served basis for table seating. Remember, you must have all ID cards, permission slips, money, and guest passes to reserve a table. Ticket prices are $60 with ASB, $65 without, and $70 for guests. Now here is Sarah with your club news.
If you are a club president, there's a mandatory meeting today at lunch in the theater. The leadership team will discuss club shields, club events, and the upcoming showcase night. And the Spanish Club is having their next meeting today during lunch in room F14. If you are in the club or signed up to bring an item for the meeting, please do not forget it. If you have any questions, contact Mr. Armas in room F14.
And now it's time to get the news from you in the Word.
Here is social media reporter Ambreen Singh with the Word. Ambreen.
Hey guys, up first, check out this picture Junior Arnav Thakur shared on Instagram with the hashtag WHS Unleashed. In this picture, you can see several students wearing their lime green ribbons to help remove the stigma of mental illnesses. Arnav says that the feelings that come with mental illnesses are completely normal and everyone should learn to cope with them. And on Snapchat, Junior Michaela Harris sent us this snap about her theater class. Theater substitute Mr. Mayman talked about mental health and the different ways to reach out for help. He wrote different contacts on the whiteboard for people to call if they need to talk to someone. And last week, we asked you to tweet about how you were going to change the way people view mental illnesses using the hashtag WHS Unleashed. Senior Terry Pham says that he is making a change by being a peer counselor. He says that although he can't make the feelings go away, he can promise that he's always willing to listen. And as we mentioned earlier, we are dedicating each show to mental health awareness and suicide prevention. We're going to challenge each other to be more accepting of teens with a mental health issue. So what are you going to do to make a change and why? Use the hashtag WHS Unleashed and include a picture of yourself wearing the green ribbon if you have one. Well, that's all I have for today. Now back to Sarah and Jada.
Thanks, Ambreen, and we want to feature you in Unleashed.
So make sure to follow us on Instagram, Twitter, and Snapchat so you can be in the Word.
We're going to stop for a quick break and show you 2 PSAs that we entered this year for the Directing Change video contest.
Directing Change is one of the leaders in California's mental health movement, and they have provided the facts that you have heard in the show.
Up first is a PSA from Matt Daisy and Noah Lopez Cohen about suicide prevention.
Followed up with a PSA from Spencer Bennett and David Cameron about mental health awareness. We'll be right back.
This is a story about my friend Tyler. During our junior year of high school, he started to distance himself from our friends. After this, he turned to alcohol and drugs. The way he was acting really scared me. I tried to show him my concern, but at first he didn't realize that I was only trying to help.
Okay. I've been thinking about this for a while now.
I just don't think I can go on any longer living this way, unless something in my life changes. So I think I'm finally gonna do it. I'm finally gonna get some help.
So it's been 2 months since I've had suicidal thoughts, and I just want to say I'm so grateful for a friend like Andrea who wasn't afraid to help save my life.
If you or someone you know is contemplating suicide, call 1-800-273-TALK.
I'm living with an eating disorder. I try not to let my friends notice at lunch.
I am living with anxiety. I panic when I'm the center of attention.
I am living with major depression. I will try my hardest, but it never seems to be good enough.
Despite my mental health challenges, I will always be a supporting and caring friend.
I will always help tutor struggling students.
I will always give 110% in everything I do.
We refuse
to let our mental illness
define us.
Welcome back, and here's the latest news that you can find in the College and Career Center.
If you're trying to decide between taking the SAT or ACT, take the Kaplan Combo Practice Test. The test is Saturday from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. Registration is $20.
Seniors, if you are attending a college or university in the fall, the deadline to apply for financial aid is next week. You need to file a FAFSA application to see if you qualify for financial aid. The FAFSA priority deadline is Tuesday. See Mrs. Rondazzo if you have any questions or if you need help with the application.
The Assist to Grad Scholarship Program will kick off on Tuesday. Ms. Randazza will have a workshop during lunch on Tuesday to go over the application process. Sign up with the Career Center to attend the workshop.
Several of our spring sports teams are kicking off their seasons over the next few days.
Let's send it over to Kyle Dowd with the dates and times and your full court press. Kyle?
Good morning, sports fans. There are some big games you can check out today and tomorrow. The tennis team has a home match today against Rockland, who the Wildcats lost to last year 6-3. That is scheduled to start at 3:30. And tomorrow, the soccer team travels to Woodland to play in a tournament against Sierra High School. The game kicks off at 3 o'clock. Also tomorrow, the volleyball team takes on the Thunder, who the Wildcats beat last year 3-0. That starts at 6 o'clock. And for the first time ever, Whitney and Rockland High Schools will be playing a unified athletics basketball game tonight at 6 p.m. in the Whitney gym. The game is part of the United Sports program that aims to bring students and athletes together in competition. This game is also an official X Factor Maroon Out event. Prizes will be given to the first 30 students at the game. Well, that is all we have for today. Now back to the anchor desk.
Thanks, Kyle. And here's one more sports score from late last night.
The men's basketball team defeated Davis High School 85-72.
And sophomore Matt Willis led the team with 18 points, and it was the first home section playoff win since 2009.
And with the win, the team moves on to the next round and will host the Grant Pacers tomorrow night. The game tomorrow is at 7 p.m.
Now here's what you can expect to see in tomorrow's show.
You have seen stories about suicide and mental illness. Now we have a story about how to get help. The Sutter Center Psychiatry is a hospital that helps teens get the help they need to return to an active lifestyle.
They believe that someone should be able to see a psychiatrist just like someone would see a doctor for the common cold.
And it's just a matter of talking to them just the same way that you would if you broke an arm. You would go see a doctor. It's just like if you have behavioral health issues, you need to talk to somebody and see a psychiatrist.
Be sure to check out Victoria Gutierrez and Nicole Scamarda's story tomorrow.
And if you want to rewatch anything you saw on today's show, head over to our website, WCTV19.com.
That's all for now, where the news is unleashed every day.
We'll see you tomorrow.